Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video today, we're going to be talking about the fact that Xbox is not doing good. This is really not doing good. And this is not like one of those crazy clickbait things where it's like, oh my god, PlayStation's the best console ever, oh my lord. But it is one of those things that we kind of want to do a deep dive into the Microsoft stock, the Xbox hardware, and kind of where things are going somewhat wrong. Now, as you guys probably know, we've been seeing a little bit of a turbulence when it comes to the market. Now, the S&P 500 did just go hit all-time highs and then subsequently just instantly kind of fell off a cliff. And right this second, Microsoft is not doing so good. Right now, their stock has went into a free fall. It looks like they kind of missed a lot of profits and their long-term longevity of the company is going rough. And Xbox itself is kind of questioning on how we can go make money, what is going on, and even the somewhat of the merit of the Activision acquisition is also going under scrutiny. There was a lot of things going on as of today with Xbox, so I want to sit back and talk to you guys about it. Also, of course, get my thoughts on it. Would love to hear your thoughts throughout the video down below. We also have a Target campaign for the summer going on, so check out any of the lovely Target affiliate links down below. Just going to check out some cool stuff for the summer, and of course as well pick up a PlayStation VR 2 on massive sale. I'll link down below. So first and foremost, let's look at this. If you guys have ever kind of dealt with stocks, crypto, anything in between, this is not good. This is very not good. As of today, Microsoft came out and gave their earnings reports and kind of talked about the company, cloud gaming, Xbox in particular, and it was not good. The market itself had high hopes right before the actual earnings call at the tail end of the market, you guys can even see. And then once everything came out, everything fell off a cliff. Now, this can happen for a few different reasons, but in all honesty, there's just some not necessarily good outlook when it comes to some Microsoft things. Xbox as a whole is bad. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Xbox consoles flop, and this is not a hate, not a comparison. Their revenue and basically money made from that is fallen off an even bigger cliff than this. And that's where I think people think that Microsoft and Xbox is in a little bit of trouble. Now, it is the biggest company in the entire planet, give or take on the day, and they're long-term gonna be fine. They will make Xboxes long-term. Game Pass is still gonna be existing. But this is very concerning, especially on the fact of how gaming is as a whole and how hardware is too as well. So I'm gonna first and foremost kind of give you guys the big heads up on everything, because there's some good, some bad. Basically saying over here, the Xbox, in particular Xbox, Q4 24 financial results. So gaming revenue actually went up, but although those numbers look insanely good, there's two asterisks to it, which make it actually worse. So apparently that was mostly bolstered by Activision, which was up 48%. So think like Overwatch, Call of Duty, and we haven't had a new Call of Duty 2, which will probably skew those numbers up. And the revenue would actually have been down though, 4% if the company hadn't acquired Activision Blizzard. So let's just kind of take the two steps apart. Xbox as a whole without Activision lost money. And 4% is a pretty big deal. And as well, even factor in Activision, it has gone up. But one of the bigger issues, though, too, is more so that it's not actually up. It's more of like one of those things where you just don't have the prior quarter's numbers to basically throw on in. And as of right this second, there was an operating loss. So that's the more important stuff. I know like revenue into profits into operating losses, etc. Basically, to go and make Activision keep running, they had to go drop $500 million. So they lost money. They lost income. They did generate revenue from Activision, so $1.68 billion, which is big. And of course, the caveat for this one is that there was cost associated with the Activision, acquisition. So think like lawyers, dealing with interstate companies, moving people over, buying new desks, just general stuff like that. So we'll have better numbers in the near future. And I would probably say with Call of Duty coming out as of probably next quarter, that'll most likely have a Game Pass subscription increase and general sales from PlayStation, etc. also going up. Last Call of Duty wasn't the most banger game. That wasn't also residually selling the best in comparison to other Xbox titles. So or more so Call of Duty titles. And so that makes sense. But if you look through the numbers, you guys can see they made $1.68 billion. That's good. Long term will be nice. But for those same numbers we just showed you guys over here, this bolster in revenue up 48% that's good. That's if they can go and trim down the operating expenses and all of that, that's good. Like, that'll turn good. But as of right this second, it is not good. So it basically had, $200 million just cost of revenue, purchase account adjustments too as well, and transaction cost. I'm assuming that's like contractors, marketing videos, animations, like a lot of stuff like that. Like just moving people, like I said, tables, chairs, like it does add up quite a bit. So it costs $900 million for the cost of revenue. They had a margin of that of like basically $800 million. But they also had purchase accounting adjustments and also transaction related costs, which might be legal things too as well. And then overall operating expenses, which we're not sure if this will go down over time, but this could be things like server cost, things like paying in salaries and 401ks and, building costs, which there is multiple buildings, etc. So as of right this second, Activision actually has lost Xbox money. We'll have to see though, because next Call of Duty game will come up, we'll probably bolster it up. Them having less legal costs and kind of get that transitional period good. It will most likely lower it too as well, not to be a doomsayer. But as well, the issues with some of this stuff, like I said, content and services, that's probably Game Pass going up, Activision as well. But the bigger thing to note, and this is where we may want to start finally going to the more nitty gritty, Xbox hardware revenue has gone down 42%. That's not good. And overall, that kind of leads us towards the fact that PlayStation is still seemingly turning a profit, while Xbox itself is on the rougher side. Xbox content and services revenue, which includes Xbox Game Pass, is up by 61% on the quarter, but like I said, that's mainly due to the Activision, which I just showed you guys is actually losing money as of now. So I'm not saying this is a forever issue. Like, ideally, they get their stuff together, lower cost, get things more optimized on the same system. Like, I'm not saying this is the end-all be-all, but with Xbox hardware going down, that's not good. With them costing so much for Activision, that's not good. And it almost seems like they're going to maybe keep on shutting down game companies and doing layoffs, which for the general gaming sphere is also not good. So basically 58 points of net impact from the Activision Blizzard. Without Activision Blizzard revenues, Xbox content and service revenue will still have been up 3% though over the year. Like I said, a lot of weird caveats with it. It just kind of depends on how you look at it. Microsoft revealed in February that Xbox Game Pass has now grown to 34 million subscribers, including that transitional people from Xbox Game Pass Core from Xbox Live that shut down. Microsoft is planning to launch a new Xbox Game Pass standard plan soon, which is designed to replace the Xbox Game Pass for consoles, which we covered pretty in depth on the channel. Microsoft just launched last year's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 on Game Pass, which is good, probably bumping up Game Pass numbers. And as well, they will most likely be making the next Call of Duty on Game Pass 2, which once again, give that some time to cook. I'm sure some people will have reoccurring subscriptions to Call of Duty to keep playing it, and I'm sure at least day one, like the first month or so, will actually have a pretty big impact. So that's good. Like at the end of the day, that is good. There is potential here. They can come back from this. Microsoft price hikes, though, for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass don't come into effect until September, with Game Pass Ultimate increasing as well. So we're gonna have to see if they make more money overall, or if they lose money by people unsubscribing. Like, it's gonna be very, very curious to go and see. There's also a lot of anticipation for new games, and there hasn't been as many new games. So seeing like overall decent numbers without big banger games like a Halo or a Fable, that's pretty good, I would say. So Xbox hardware, though, is down 42% this quarter. Microsoft is planning to launch a diskless Xbox X console in white later this year to compete with the PS5 Slim, along with the brand new Galaxy Black Special Xbox Series X. And they've also been trying to push more on like the cloud streaming, TV apps, Amazon Fire devices, and all of that towards the console hardware. So it kind of makes sense, but this is really rough because they are still competing with the Switch and PS5. So despite the poor Xbox hardware revenue, gaming revenue, as I mentioned, as we talked about, is up, but that is also with that operating loss that is hopefully going to shrink over time. But just looking at pure numbers, they did lose money. Right now, Xbox is kind of hemorrhaging money until they fix it. Microsoft isn't updating its Game Pass subscriber numbers this quarter, but the company did share a metric around active gaming users, stating we now have over 500 million monthly active users across platforms and devices, which is weird though, because they might factor in like Windows phones, sometimes laptops, like stuff like that. We don't know exactly what is factored on into that, because there's only around 30 million or so Xbox consoles. Old Xbox Ones, yes, but they did also just sunset the 360s. So next quarter, Microsoft is expecting Xbox content and service revenue to actually increase though, which is at least nice for long-term projections. And overall gaming revenue will also increase as well from their numbers. But they did go and say the Xbox hardware revenue will again decline year over year. So that's kind of the bigger stuff when it comes to Xbox. Would love to hear your thoughts on everything down below. Subscribe if you guys are new. Check out all the target links down below. Say hi on Twitter and Twitch and give me your thoughts and comments on everything down below.